Hi, so welcome back everybody to our second part of search engine optimization. We'll be talking about keyword research in this lecture. Keywords really are the backbone for a search engine optimization program, and the research you do to figure out what keywords to rank for is really important, and that's what we're going to get into today. So for this lecture, we'll be talking about how to conduct keyword research and do a good job with that, which keywords to choose. After you've gone through and listed out all those keywords, how do you group keywords? And then we'll discuss adding contextual keywords to your search engine keyword document. All right, so as I mentioned, keywords are the building block of search. Search engines keep track of websites and keyword-based indexes. So again, that giant file cabinet analogy, it's all organized by keywords. Search engines measure how keywords are used on a page. And for how do you discover keywords? Well, Danny, can you kind of take us through what y'all's process is for keyword discovery?
Yeah, sure, totally. So the first step is going to be just to get together internally. So that means if you're in a company, it's going to be with all the key stakeholders, or we're talking about if you're an agency and you're working with a client. First, you want to just sit together and say, okay, what are our products and services? What do we think our customers are calling them? And put that down on a whiteboard, on a spreadsheet, and get those keywords together. The next step is a pretty simple scenario, but you go into Google and start typing in different keywords and I think one also important thing that we want to talk about, when we use the term keyword, we don't literally mean just one keyword. Often when we use the term keyword, we're using it loosely, but it means keyword phrase. So it could be 2 or 3 words to that actual keyword. And you can see by typing into Google, you can start to get suggestions from Google of other phrases that people have searched that are related. So this is another great way to start, elaborating your list and adding more keywords to your list. Next step is similar to what we were looking before, like keyword suggestions. Sometimes you want to type in a keyword or a phrase into Google and look at the results. Now, often the results will match exactly what you're searching for, but sometimes you'll get other ideas that you didn't even know about. So in this example, where I'm searching for where should I office if I'm a startup, I see that there's an article that shows up why I ditched the office to work remotely. So, that's a new concept that maybe I want to write about. Or what should the ideal office hours for a startup be, right? So these are questions and topics that are not directly related to the phrase, but hey, these are great things that if I'm, targeting startups, I've got a new software, these are all articles or keywords and topics that I'm going to want to cover. So, we've led you to the top of the Google page. Now at the bottom of the Google page, there's something called Google related searches. And a lot of people don't necessarily notice this. But it's a great way to, once again, add to your keyword list. And in this example, can show you how powerful this is. So imagine if I'm a company out in New York, and I want to know the best startup incubators in Texas. So it's cool, but in these related searches down here, Google is mentioning Austin, it's mentioning Dallas, it's mentioning Houston. So if I had no idea about Texas and what are like the main startup hubs, in this little box, which are just giving me related searches, I can really uncover a lot of cool information. Next is some more free tools. One is called answerthepublic.com and one is called alsoask.com. These are both tools that allow you to type in a keyword and it generates the questions that are related to that keyword. So Answer the Public is more of, it kind of like auto-generates, it takes all the question words, how, what, why, when, where, and combines them together. I personally also asked a little bit more because also asked pulls from Google's question database where, kind of if you go into Google and you search for something, more often than not now, you'll have a box near the top that will have multiple questions. And this tool will actually pull the questions out of that search. So these are another great ways to figure out what are the questions that are being asked around the products or services that you're trying to rank for. Here's another free tool. It's a suggestion tool by SEOscout.com, and it's very powerful. It's missing some components, but for generating just keyword lists and keyword ideas, it's really, really great. So you can see here, I can type in masters in marketing. I can search for related phrases, questions around that, comparison type phrases like masters in marketing versus master in analytics, research type, and then every AZ combination, hit go, and it will break it down into actually little groups. So not only does it give me the list of keywords, but it also groups them together. And very powerful tool and a great way to just generate lots of keyword ideas for free.
So as you're generating these ideas, are you doing any sort of organization right now, or are you just saying, here's a spreadsheet, I'm going to write down all the keywords one by one, or import them to a spreadsheet? What are you doing with these keywords as you're coming up with these ideas?
That's a great question. So, you know, in a simple form, we're just putting them down. But as we continue through the lecture, we'll see that there are different aspects which will, eventually we're going to take this long list and we're going to group them together. Group the similar keywords together and form different groups. So if you want to start doing it at this point and kind of group similar keywords together, it will just make the process easier later on. But right now it's really just a matter of getting the keywords together and being as comprehensive in your list as possible. Now we have another keyword discovery tool called Ubersuggest. There is a free version, but there's also a paid version. So it's still something that one can use even if they don't have the paid version. But once again, you can see here, if I search for oil and gas marketing, it provides me with many keyword ideas: oil and gas marketing, gas company, natural gas, so on and so forth.
For Ubersuggest, we like this tool quite a bit. I would say the free version has a very limited amount of keyword information you can get when you're using the free version. The cost of the tool is not prohibitive compared to some other tools. It's pretty reasonable. All of them run anywhere from like say $20 to like $100 a month is a basic level of the tool. And then if you're going to move up to enterprise level, obviously that gets more and more expensive the more you use it. But definitely a tool worth looking into.
And then here's a list of other keyword discovery tools. Search Console is a free tool by Google where you can connect it to your website and see the keywords that you're ranking for already. We will talk about that further in the course. Google Ads has its own keyword tool called Google Keyword Planner. You can run pay-per-click campaigns to figure out keyword research. KeywordTool.io is another one, Moz or SEMrush, and then here's a link for many more. So there's lots of keyword tools out there. As we continue this lecture, we will kind of see what will determine why I want to use one tool over another. So other ideas that you can use to generate keyword suggestions would be YouTube, like we spoke about in a previous lecture. That YouTube is the #2 search engine. It's the #3 on Google's list of searches. So it can type in your phrase into YouTube and see what are the movies that show up, what are the titles that can give you additional suggestions. Amazon, specifically to books and e-commerce, you'll be able to figure out what are a lot of the phrases that are available. Quora is a pretty awesome website, which is basically a database of questions where anyone can come and answer, and usually the expert. So if I ask a question about the Houston Rockets, it's possible that Daryl Morey, who's the general manager, might come in and respond. It's really cool, but it also, once again, gives you ideas. And then the last one would be live chat, which I suggest every website should have live chat. But in the framework of keyword research, the idea here would be is you can take the transcripts of all your different chat sessions and then analyze those transcripts for keywords or points or topics that kind of jump out at you, and you might be able to add that to your list and create content around that. A cool way of doing that would be taking all those transcripts and sticking them into a keyword cloud generator. I don't know if you guys have seen that before, but it's basically, it analyzes all the text, and keywords that are used more often are bigger in the cloud, keywords that are used less are smaller, and it gives you a good visual perspective of what people are really talking about.